welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Birthday podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Put him on the glass.
Birthday, I don't know, at a certain age.
We do have some great glass.
We do. I just don't have great tits.
I do.
Glass is perfect, yeah.
I have one good tit for you.
Okay.
The
just
left
one.
bosom, yeah.
Okay, that was good. Yeah.
Put it on the glass. Then that sounds like your dick.
Yeah.
That would make it for a fun video.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, not sure about that either. Yeah. Yeah, at some point with those birthdays, you stop trying to show off the body. Like, I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah.
I'm going to do y'all a favor.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it under wraps.
I do love the lime tree that y'all got me. It's very nice. It's got some tequila in it, which I love. I'll definitely take advantage of that. Probably have that all drunk by this afternoon.
Gift cards galore.
Yeah, to go get some more margaritas.
And it's a special variant of a lime tree. It's called a Mexican lime tree.
No way.
An ode to the Mexican queen.
I love that. Yeah, I was looking at that. You know, we do have a little bit of room in the backyard. I might actually try to plant that thing up and see, how it does.
It comes with instructions. So it tells you exactly like what it needs as far as sunlight and water and where to put it.
Uh-huh.
And if you need any help, the bird can help you. I've been planting trees. I got a little bit more experience these days.
Just be careful because, a lot of citrus, this tree has prickers, like a thorn in a rose.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so be careful with it because I've already pricked myself here on my neck.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't know lime trees have prickers.
It does. So does lemon. Lemon tree has prickers too.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if it's just the variants that I bought, but yeah, I've got pricked by a lemon tree too.
I'll tell you what does not have pricks. Kumquats.
Okay.
I didn't know where you were going, but I was happy to be along for the ride.
Where's this going to take us?
Who's coming?
Yeah. What'd you say about a prick?
This guy named Quat.
Oh, what an evil trick. Name your kid Quat.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever met a kid named Quat, so nobody's
I'll bet
done
my face that there's a Quat out there.
Is there a Quat listening?
That I'm going to say nope. Normal or nope. But in the world, there's definitely a Quat.
There's a Quat.
Yeah. Somewhere.
Right. I know there's a twat.
Yeah.
In fact, I know a few of those.
Anybody with the name, though?
I bet you any money there is a twat name, maybe in a different country where twat doesn't mean anything
it feels
bad.
Like maybe it could be an Asian name or something. You might go to Vietnam and there's a bunch of twats all over the place.
We looked up, there's a shit. Somebody's first name was shit.
No, it was Michael Poop.
Poop.
No, Stephen Poop.
Stephen Poop.
That's funny.
His real name is Stephen Poop.
I mean, there are people with the last name Poop.
And so we're all the poops, all of us? That's unbelievable. Yeah.
You got to change that. What are
How
you
does
doing?
that happen?
I think it just does happen. Maybe poop doesn't mean poop in other parts of the world, and
you're here now.
Yeah.
If you're here now, and we know what poop means here, you got to change it.
You really do.
You're just
that's not the
asking
right
for
choice.
Torment of your child in school.
Yeah, I mean, I just typed it in. People with the last name Poop, and I mean, look, there's people out there with it.
Okay. I figured there probably would be.
Are there any quats?
Oh, I'm sure there is. But then now, who wants to hear me fucking
All right.
Google?
20 minutes of us Googling.
Yeah.
Are there any dicks?
Let me Google this.
Every dirty name.
Yeah, all there. Well, the big thing going on this weekend is the parade for the Panthers Stanley Cup win on Sunday. Talked to the Queen about it yesterday. She has no interest in battling traffic in the crowd, so I think we'll probably just watch it on TV.
All
be
right.
my guess.
If you and Cannon wanted to go down there by yourself, like how Panda and Rocco did, would the Queen be cool with that?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, she'd probably find something else to do, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm slightly with her in the sense where battling traffic and crowds and all that stuff.
Is it worth it?
Yes. Now, if I had a hotel and we cruised in there without a crowd, pulled in the garage, we're hanging out, and then all of a sudden people showed up, we watched the parade, and then everybody left, and then when the crowds go, we zipped out. I think I'd do that, but yeah.
I highly recommend bringing a little cooler and a wagon. If you're going to go, bring your own cocktails because Lord knows Fort Lauderdale cocktails are not cheap.
No, I mean, you're talking $15 to $25.
Yeah.
Per cocktail.
Pack a little cooler and put it in a wagon. Throw your kids in there.
Yeah, I don't get cocktails out anymore. Stop doing it. I'll do a Corona. Coronas you typically can still get $9-10, even at the expensive places.
It's a price thing, not a...
Yeah, well, and also, too, my wife's problem is nobody makes a drink strong enough for her.
Well, they do. It's just called a double.
Double's not enough. I tell her, I'm like, get a double. She's like, nah. And her idea of a shot, it's just she does a quad. Like, so it's just, I'm like, it's just ridiculous. So
that's what it takes to kind of get her going.
That's what she believes is fair. And so I don't think the world works that way.
If I'm going to pay, you're going to pour.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, we a lot of times stick to the beer and wine. And, for instance, at the Hard Rock, I think the cocktails were maybe $17-18, got a beer for $9. I was like, paying half price.
Yeah,
and then
I get it.
Often, too, in public, I mean, you don't want to get so, just having some Coronas is all good. You can stay cool and stay hydrated and feeling good.
You are going to love your KVJ cocktail, though. Your skinny margarita.
Looked amazing.
At the PGA National was delicious.
Yeah.
Your cocktail was good?
Mine was great. Yours was great.
How was your third cocktail you picked out? Was that one good, too? Because I know me and Denny's didn't get a cocktail.
Yours is 2/4 of what you picked. I just added something to yours to make it better. I did you a favor.
Okay. I love it.
Have you tried it with the muddled, what is it, strawberries you're putting in there?
Muddled strawberries.
Have you even tried it, Jay-Bird, with the muddled strawberries?
I don't know what the fuck muddled strawberries are. I know what regular strawberries are. I know what the syrupy kind are.
No, we don't want the syrupy kind. We want fresh muddled.
Yeah, my wife, it's weird timing because my wife has gotten into that. She's done the muddling. We got a muddler a couple weeks ago, and she's been making some margaritas. Now, I don't know about putting it in whiskey and ginger ale with the muddled strawberries. That I don't know. I haven't tried that. But my wife was muddling. She was doing the pickle, and then she had another one was a watermelon, jalapeno margarita, which was really good. She made some amazing margaritas, muddling.
What was wrong with the what I had? Why didn't you like it?
It just was so basic. It wasn't elevated enough. It was just Jameson and ginger ale. I'm like,
no, I think there was something
whiskey and ginger ale.
Yeah, it was whiskey, ginger ale. There was another element to it. There was like there was another element to it.
Are you sure?
No, but I'm almost certain. Sure, no. I'm not sure, but I'm almost certain.
Yeah, see, mine was basic too, and I sensed that, so I threw in the tahini rim.
And I love that you did that because that's so on brand and that's so fun. And margaritas with the tahini rim are like,
yeah. See, if I hadn't done that, mine would have gotten hijacked too.
All right.
You got it for Virginia. You have to throw in some kind of pretentious element, or she's going to change that shit up.
Like a fucking lobster clit, something weird.
Lobster clit,
something aqua cab. It's elevated.
Yeah.
Lobster clit.
They have those.
I didn't know lobsters had a clitoris.
It's very elegant.
I've never studied.
Have you flicked that bean?
Lobster anatomy, but
when you flip a lobster over, Kevin.
Okay, yeah. The interesting thought is what Marianne's got going on for the parade. She said, I have a friend that is a boat captain. He told me that he and 2 other captains are going to be chartering 3 boats to take the Panthers players up the river in Fort Lauderdale with the trophy. They're going to stop at several restaurants along the way and party.
After the parade.
No, it sounds like, hold on. I mean, if this is legit and her timestamp is right, we got this email today. She said this is happening tomorrow. Damn. Okay, that's
today.
She sent the email today, and she said
it's
tomorrow.
happening tomorrow. So
yes.
Is it before
Saturday
or
The
after
parade's
the parade?
Sunday.
Oh, the parade's
A
Sunday.
day before.
That's right.
Yep. So if she's saying what she's saying, then is tomorrow. Then I guess on the New River they'll be kind of cruising up and going to some different places. Yeah, I mean there are a few docks.
Did she
up
say
around there.
which restaurants?
No, but I know New River kind of follows Las Olas a little bit right there. So yeah, you got a couple spots to pop off. I bet without a doubt they're going to go to the wharf.
Okay.
So I would imagine.
I don't know that area that well, but
okay, yeah. So you're probably you'd start at the wharf and then kind of work your way up and around.
that's fun.
There's a couple of options. Yeah, that might be something. So if you want to see that, going to the wharf and doing some day drinking tomorrow might not be a bad idea. I might have to look into that. Thank you very much, Marianne.
Good tip.
Yeah, it is a great tip, actually. Yeah, I thought she was going to say something about doing the boat stuff, but I was wondering. I'm like, yeah, if you did a boat for the because there's no real docks there. You got the beach, and you'd have to go by Yamara, I think.
Well, last year there were some boats in the ocean, but they were so far off.
Right, yeah.
They couldn't get close enough to be like in the action.
You'd almost feel like you're not even a part of it, I would imagine.
Yeah, it didn't work to watch the parade by boat. It just didn't work.
Okay. All right. Well, that is some good little piece of information then.
That's a monster nugget.
Yeah. Cup on the New River tomorrow.
Go. The Queen will do that.
She might. Yeah. We'll see. It's my birthday.
Yeah, do it.
It's your
tomorrow is your
birthday.
technical birthday.
It is.
So
You're
you
right.
should be able to be like, come on, please.
Yeah. I think that's the right play.
That is.
Okay.
I just hope I
Thank you
hear a
very
little.
much.
Yeah, we hope you get it wet.
Okay. I'll probably fall in a pool. Does that count? It'll be wet.
You don't get no lobster clit.
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to find, Virginia.
They are. I mean, that
Those
one's
things
real
are
hard to find.
That one's elusive.
Yeah. Cassie did something interesting. She just wanted to get ready for the Panthers parade. She said, once I knew they were in the finals, I booked my hotel for 2 possible weekends, and I got my hotel for $47 a night.
Nice.
And my hotel is close to the one that Virginia stayed at, but I'm right on the beach at the start of the staging area. Hotel probably has questionable frequent flyers staying there, but for less than $200, me and the family are going to have a 4-day staycation on the beach. Vamos, gatos.
Yes, that is a good. There are places that are cheaper than where I stayed. I stayed at the Sonesta, and it's a little bit more pricey, but there are other cheaper spots all along up and down that stretch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You were smart to just book it ahead of time and roll the dice, baby.
Yep. Okay. Good info there. Got an email here from Panchita. She said, why don't you... Oh, she's talking about the live show. I was letting you know that my wife invited my son, Cannon. He's got a girlfriend, and they're cute. They're very cute together. It's very nice. In fact, they spend a lot of time together. Her birthday was yesterday.
Okay.
And so he took her to Miami, and they did a nice little brunch.
Lovely.
Enjoyed themselves there. And yeah, I've met her grandparents live in Boca.
Okay.
And so I got to meet them, but she was the ones where we rolled up, and the Queen had a couple cocktails. And I was like, oh, it's not a good time to meet the grandparents for
Do
the first time.
not go meet somebody drinking.
It's hard for us to do because we're always drinking. So I mean, it's a hard challenge, but so we were there, but it's the first time, and I think they're cool with it because I did see my son and his girlfriend. They made a video, and Grandma was behind him. She had a wine bottle in her hand. She's dancing too. I'm like, Granny might be a bit lit. So
Okay.
it's all good. Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, so I think they're I think they're cool, but there's a different level of cool, and then of the KVJ live show.
Yes.
So that's where it's like, okay, you need to know because this is a different level. Like I liken this to like, okay, if I'm going to get to know you, I don't want this to be your first impression of me because these are unique events. This is a rare thing. This isn't what our show's like even all the time. This is just everybody comes out like hedonistic pirates and everybody goes for it.
This tiger has been in the cage for a year.
Right.
So this is a year since we were at the Boca Black Box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
We don't want you, any kind of clanking at all. If there's someone that's going to make you uncomfortable,
We'll toss her out.
Look, during the whole show, it won't clank me. I'm just like, all right,
If you need me to toss out grandparents, I'll
No.
toss them.
It's fine with that. I just am more worried that, if anything happened and you don't know how it could go. Look, there are some people that they see our stuff and they're repulsed by it.
You're right.
And they're just like, you don't need to see that boy. His dad is clearly mental. Whatever. I don't even know what would happen. But
I'm fucking mental because I don't think it's that bad.
I wouldn't want it to, roll down and affect him.
Sure.
Because, look, he really likes this girl and they're so cute together. And if I did anything to play into that, so I would wear that guilt, but daddy's got to do what daddy's got to do.
Well, look, kid, if you think it could go sideways, don't come. Don't bring your girl. Don't bring the grandparents. Don't be there.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it up to him and tell Cannon, hey, this is what's going to go on. It's going to be risque. It's going to be wild. It's going to be drunken debauchery.
Well, this is something the Queen does. She likes to get way too familiar too quick with the parents or anybody that our kids are dating. I was just like, pump the brakes. Like, let them get comfortable. Like, she was wanting to set up all these dinners and right away, like the first week. I'm like, no, just let them, in time. If we get there, we get there.
How long have they been together?
A week.
No, I would say that we're going on probably about 8 months now.
Okay, I mean, we're getting there.
8 months, yeah, and they spend a good bit of time together. I mean, it's to the point where the grandparents seem very sweet. And they had told Cannon yesterday because we're all over the place in South Florida. He goes to school in Boca, and we. In West Palm, they said, look, if you ever need a place where you need to, because yesterday he had to go straight from football to pick up his girlfriend and then go eat, and he didn't get to shower.
Oh, okay.
And so they're like, no, if you ever need a place where you need to shower or whatever, because you're kind of disconnected from where you are, and they even gave him a key to their house. They said, you can stay here anytime you want.
Wow.
I was like, so they seem very cool and very nice.
That's awesome.
Cool and nice is still not KVJ Live.
This is where it all goes sideways.
Or
Right.
they could be in the audience and going, "Fuck yeah, jump!"
They could,
jump.
I don't know. Who knows? I mean, they said, I think he's friends with one of our other radio friends, Paul Castronovo. And so he
Okay.
knows Paul. And so I'm like, okay,
Paul's not as crazy as this.
No, he's not. Look,
No.
Paul's fun and Paul
Paul's a
drinks. And,
blast.
yeah, he's a lot of fun.
But he is elevated.
He is. You're right. He's a couture drinker.
Pristine.
Yes. Right.
And beautiful. We go to beautiful places, but he is top shelf.
Right.
Fancy.
Look,
Right.
and I say this with love, and I think it's awesome. We're pirate people.
Yeah.
We're pirate people.
It's fun to be a pirate.
I like being a pirate.
Yeah, right. So that's where I'm just like, this is a different kind of thing. And so Panchita, she said, why don't you and the Queen take the grandparents out for dinner? This way the first impression is already set. And at that moment, you can tell them, a little bit of a pre-warning.
That's a good idea. I just know you're strapped for time, but if you
Yeah.
could find the time.
I mean, the show's 8 days away, so I don't know that we'll be able to, but if there is a chance, I may try to carve out and force the time to be like, can I just have 5 minutes? Let's just talk.
Let me
Let's
just walk you through this.
Yes, right. Let's get to know me. This is me and this is normal Kev. This is how I behave 99% of the time.
And I don't even know if it's good for Cannon and the girlfriend to be there.
I don't know if they're going to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I
that they're
told
coming.
Rocco he could not come. And if Magnolia was in town, I would ask her not to come.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not.
She's built different than Caitlin.
Well, last time I brought one of my kids there. Yeah, I got a surprise. So
Well, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
but again, it's
Caitlin is built different.
she is. She is.
And she's 25?
She's 27.
27.
Yeah, so Cannon's 17 now.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Where did it all go?
I know, right?
Catching the crail and the silver
Right. So
spoon.
I had no intention of Cannon and his girlfriend being there. And
Okay.
I still don't know
good.
that they are. I think this is just the grandparents.
Good. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes
but
me
like
happy.
I said, my thought on that, I don't want to be responsible at all for any friction or speed bumps he may have. Look, I wear all that stuff heavily, and so it's like, just don't put that on me because I'll wear the guilt.
Right.
I've been trained to wear guilt since I was a child.
Oh, it's if you are Italian, it just comes right out of the womb.
Yeah, right. You just
You're
immediately
born with guilt.
Yeah, even if in a roundabout way, you're like, it's not really your fault. Well, you still are like,
And you hold on to that guilt for a minimum of 2 days.
It's my fault. I was the guy motorboating Jason's butt cheeks. It's my fault.
Right, but it's what I do. Just don't put me in a position where I gotta, feel guilty. So yeah, maybe we'll try.
I know, because guilt can take up a lot of headspace, man.
It can. You're right. It can. It's
Especially
always,
with your kids.
Well, for me, it's the times when I get alone and want to enjoy myself. I'm like, God, no, I gotta watch all my guilt. Yeah, the time you want to relax and just clear your mind. Now that's when it's like, oh, you got time for guilt.
That is the worst. You'll smoke like a bowl. You think you're gonna relax, and all of a sudden go, man, I should have handled things differently. Fuck, I feel so.
That's
guilty.
why I keep busy. Because when I keep busy, I'm like, I know guilt. I know you're sitting there waiting for me.
Maybe that was guilt knocking at your door the other day.
It might have been like, hey, we gotta talk to you. We're overdue. Hello, we haven't talked to you for a while.
It's not every time you're alone, but there are those times in solitude you want to chill, maybe have a drink, maybe have a little smoke, and fuck the guelt monsters.
It does, yeah. You're like, I thought I was gonna enjoy this time. No, actually, I gotta go get busy again.
Nah, I think I'm gonna go weep.
Yeah, I gotta stay busy. One thing that had come up today was ketamine, a drug that I have heard that, things like the ketamine, whatever, apparently are getting a little bit more popular. As I'm trying to see what's going on here in the world, but I think sensibilities have shifted a bit. I talked about that before, where it seems like some of the people in the younger generation, they may be drinking less and they may be going to other things. And I'd even, watching Bill Maher's show, he was saying, yeah, here in LA, the young kids aren't even smoking weed. He's like, that's the old person thing. He said they are doing some of these party drugs, the ketamines and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
Is more what the younger crowd's into.
The younger crowds is not this, sobriety. They're still getting fucked up. They're just getting fucked up in different ways.
In different ways.
Yes.
And so, my conduit is, my daughter Caitlin. She's got, one of her good high school buddies. He's into the EDM world. His girlfriend works at Space Miami and all that kind of stuff. And so kind of hearing what they're all about. Yeah, they've got some of those, what is that pink cocaine and all that kind of weird stuff.
Why are kids not drinking, though, I wonder? And you can't say it's because of health reasons when you say pink cocaine and the other. I don't drink, but I do pink cocaine. I mean, they're both terrible for your health.
Maybe they grew up watching us get so shitty binge drinking.
I think some of it might be the cost. Because
that's a good point.
You look at, where Bill Maher was talking about in LA being that case, and, maybe Miami if that's the case. I mean, we were just starting the show talking about how much a freaking cocktail is, and old man Kev is drinking beer because I don't want to spend $25 for every cocktail I get.
You're right.
Yeah, and even if you go to the liquor store and you want to get a big bottle of alcohol, it's not cheap. Even Jameson's, I wouldn't say cheap.
Yeah. And Chelsea said, yeah, the K's always been around. I'm old. Yeah, I remember all the way back in Kansas City, one of my gay friends there for all the raves, he would bake out. I thought it was like a cat tranquilizer or something, but I remember he was some K he would make in the oven or something like that. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Yeah, I was always petrified of any kind of drugs, so I've never done drugs really.
The other ones that I always heard people did that scared the shit out of me was the GHB.
Yeah, I never touched that, just because. Yeah, I'd heard some stories about that. Yeah,
they were big into the GHB.
There was
a big run.
It was
for a while.
Bodybuilders. When I was crazy into the bodybuilding, that's when I had seen it most. I mean, I never had a chance to take it, but yeah, I told you the story about the guy that passed out in his mashed potatoes and almost died. They had to resuscitate him because he face first passed out from GHB. He didn't time it right. He went to the gym. He tried to get his carb load on, scooped his GHB so he'd go home and sleep and recover, and passed out in his mashed potatoes and started breathing those in through his nasal passages. And you can imagine that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They had to suction out his nostrils and everything right there in a freaking KFC.
Does it make you high, or does it just put you to sleep for recovery?
It makes you high. I know a lot about GHB because my neighbor used to make it. So we used to take it.
You did?
Wow.
Yeah, I did.
I think you told me this before, and I think I'm surprised every time.
Every time. We've had this same conversation.
It makes you high?
It does. So my neighbor was a chemist, and he was also a bodybuilder.
Okay.
And so this is what he did. He would make it by the jug.
Okay.
Milk jug.
Bodybuilders love jugs.
And now all you need to get high is like, imagine the cap of a bottled water. Mm-hmm. Fill that with it. Boom. That's all you need to get high. Mm-hmm. 2 of those, you pass out.
Oh, wow.
So there's such a tiny amount needed between the difference between buzzed and passed out.
And if you're a maniac and do 3, I could see you overdosing.
Absolutely.
You know, some people think they can handle more. What if you take 1, 2, 3, like some maniacs would?
You'll fall asleep. You'll be on the ground, and hopefully you won't kill yourself.
Wow.
Your breathing slows significantly.
Right. That's why this stuff's terrifying. And Abigail said, the ketamine is tasteless, and it's used a lot as a rape drug.
Oh, no.
Oh, my. Yeah, well, if you're saying you pass out.
Yeah.
Well, ketamine is different from GHB.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know what ketamine is. I've never done ketamine. I can only tell you about GHB.
But that sounds like that would work. That's a
GHB is a liquid. It's clear,
and that's what it was typically when they talked about the date rape drug. They were typically referring to GHB, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's also a little oily.
Okay.
So you look at it and it looks like a clear, like a water in a water bottle.
Yeah.
But to the touch, it's like oily.
Okay.
And if you had a couple drinks in you, and let's say someone put that in,
It's salty. You would taste it.
but on drink 3, if you're
No.
fucked up,
Drink 3, you won't taste it. But if you just drink it plain, it's very like salty.
But I could see how that could be detrimental of putting it in drinks.
Oh, absolutely.
Does it mix well into a drink, or does it?
You could
almost-
hide it in a drink.
You can.
That's
It doesn't separate itself because it's oily. Because you ever seen like oil and water, that kind of stuff?
No.
Especially if someone's
Okay.
buzzed up, I'm not sure you're going to notice things. I wouldn't notice things like that.
The only way you would notice it is if they, like, somebody tried to pour it in your beer and they got it like on the rim. Then you would taste it. Absolutely. If a little bit of it got on the rim of the beer, you would taste it. But if somebody poured it like in a cocktail and they stirred it around, you would never know.
And if you had it on a beer can and you tasted it, I wonder if that's enough to even get you high. Because it sounds like you don't need much to make it happen.
You don't need much to make it happen.
That's scary.
It is. Yeah, there's a lot of terrifying stuff going on out there. And got this email here about Wild Robot. Igor said, love the show, always a few days behind, but I loved Rocco's review of Lilo and Stitch, especially the emotional roller coaster statement he had.
I've been using that term all week long.
I looked over at poor Rocco. He was weeping at Lilo and Stitch. It really was an emotional roller coaster for him.
I love me a Rocco movie review. I'm a fan of that bit.
Thank you.
He said, I think that Rocco, Virginia, and Jaybird need to watch The Wild Robot. It's an amazing animated film that pulls at the heartstrings. It's about parenthood, growing up, and friendship, but the way they do it is an amazing experience. Overall, it's an amazing film, and yes, it is on Netflix.
Dude, I feel like such a pussy when I cry at cartoons.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Whatever moves you, moves you.
Yeah,
thank you, Igor.
Yes, thank you, Igor.
Big
Yeah.
fan for 10 years. It's nice to hear.
It's a strong name.
I love that name.
Igor, bitch.
Is that his last name?
I mean, he's got to be like 10 feet tall,
Does
right?
he know the poops? Can you imagine that street? Poops are there. The bitches are there. What's going on in this neighborhood? Mm-hmm. And got an email here from Joseph. He said, Kevin, I insist you talk about AI and robots every day. Okay. He said 2 points. The experts all agree that at least 30% of AI costs should be spent on safeguarding the AI from harming us and testing how the AI responds to different scenarios. They spend less than 5% on safeguarding research currently.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's insane. And really, I think what's driving it, you've got a race going on between the Americans and the Chinese, and they're trying to get there first, and they're ignoring a lot of safeguards.
I like talking AI just because it's moving so quick, and every week it seems like there's a new story and update. And it like you said yesterday,
Yep.
it's going to alter your life eventually, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you want to prepare for it a little bit?
Yep.
It's good to know.
It's good to know.
Because it's scary, but ignorance to me is worse.
Well, that just like that email right there. I didn't know that only 5% is going to safeguard it. That's fucked.
Yeah. And he said now they're not far from combining high-level AI and a humanoid robot. So they're almost there where you can have the brain power of the AI cranking, and you've seen the robots that are walking around. I saw the latest thing that there's a company, maybe a Japanese company, and they're in a sense a butler that you get. They're showing them watering plants and going around doing all these kind of things around your house.
Wow.
I mean, if I had a robot do my laundry, do a deep clean, and then take care of the dinosaur garden, make it nice and tidy.
It's exactly Virginia's favorite old ass person TV show, The Jetsons. Rosie, the robot. That's what they had, and it's almost there.
But it should be designed that way. That's all it can do. It can't start going, oh, I want to now
Kill you.
Yeah, take your heart.
This house is nice. Wish it was mine.
Yeah.
Kill owner.
Kind of the other headline maybe to pay attention to, a story I saw this week about AI. I'm sure most of us probably aren't in the situation where you don't want somebody to know where you are, but apparently AI right now can tell you where somebody is just by the photo. The AI will look at wave patterns, sand, skies. It can pinpoint your exact location, doesn't need GPS. So if you posted a single vacation photo and you're a person, to be like, look, I say celebrities. This is going to be something celebrities are going to have to know, because a lot of times they are on vacation. They don't want people to find them. They're at a secluded place. But if they posted up a vacation photo and they were still on that vacation, somebody could run that through AI and it'd be like, that's exactly where they are. It would point it right on a map, and you would be able to walk right up to them.
Wow.
Based on that photo.
And I'm not sure how accurate this statement is, but I just heard people talking about it, that it's getting to the point, especially in some of these smart cities, that they're going to be able to get your information just by looking at you. They have cameras and things in the sky that you cannot see. It's designed that way, and they're going to be able to get your information.
That's horrifying.
Whether, let's say, you pull out your phone or you pull out a card, they can zoom in and get all your information. Not that they're going to do anything with it, but I think it's going to get to the point where you go outside walking down the street, you think no one knows what the fuck is going on, and people know what the fuck's going on.
So there's cameras in the sky as you hand your credit card to somebody, and they can zoom in on the number and steal all your stuff?
I think there's things in the air that a lot of people don't know, and I think you can't see them, but they're there.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit. They're designing stuff to where you are not able to detect it, and there could be things that are above your head, and you'd have no idea about it.
That's crazy.
They're already starting to notice. I don't know if they have any numbers yet, but it does. At least some people are verbalizing that they are getting out of the social media game, at least posting anything from their personal life, because it is getting so scary on what they can do to get your information based on anything that you post about yourself on social media now, that some people are saying, the second you post anything on social media, you have opened yourself up to the smartest of scammers out there. And that's all they do. They make a full-time living off of just stealing from people and taking advantage of your vulnerabilities that you're unaware of. And that's another reason to talk about it.
And you know what it's done to me? There are people who text and call, and I'm not sure who they are, and it's kind of ambiguous.
Yeah.
And I just assume now it's a scam, and it's making me not trust anything. Like someone sent me a message, hey, I was just on your street at blah 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 blah, said my address, and said we do this service for pools, would love to come over and do. Now I don't know if that was a scammer, I don't know if that was someone fucking with me.
I just got a text message that came from our health insurance, and they said, there has been an issue and your health insurance has been canceled, but you can renew it by clicking this link. And I said, I guess I'm fucked.
I won't click links anymore.
I will not click a link.
But it was our health insurance company.
It really
was?
was?
A text to my phone. Yeah.
Why did they delete you? Why did they cancel your health insurance?
I'll find out if it happens. I mean, I'll check on it, go on the proper channels, but I'm not going to click on the link they gave me.
Do you think it was a bluff my call situation where?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You don't think?
Some woman called me the other day, and it just sounded weird when I picked up the phone.
Yeah.
Because Jason Pennington, blah blah blah. You owe you have an outstanding bill of $7,000. Now, believe it or not, I do know where my money is and how it's spent. I'm like, $7,000. This is a scam. No, I know why you think that. Please don't hang up. Don't. And I hung up on her, and she never called back. So it was a scam. I don't owe $7,000 to something.
It's just terrible. I mean, that's where it is. I was talking earlier about how I don't answer the door for anybody, and I had two guys that were out there, and they could see my legs. They knew I was there, and they're like knocking. And then my wife was looking on the camera. She's like, "You gonna open the door?" She's like, "The guy's out there like with prayer hands." I said, "Well, God ain't gonna answer his prayer today because I ain't answering that door." I said, "Sorry, God ain't hearing you today. I can't be moved to open that thing."
And did the world stop turning? No, it did not.
You know what? I continued about my day. I was making a delicious snack. I got right to it. I enjoyed myself. I'd open that door. Who knows what kind of hell I'd
You would have been
in.
involved in 30 minutes of just him giving you a sales spiel that you don't want.
Didn't want it.
That's a best case scenario.
Yep.
Worst case scenario, they bum rush you because there's another guy waiting in the bushes.
Right.
They hit you in the head with a brick and then they fuck you.
It was already two guys. I've seen that where you crack the door, they grab the door, swing it open, and then they come running in your house.
Exactly.
I'm like, we ain't doing that.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll perform my move, Mortal Man, on that ass.
Oh, they would fuck you first.
I would get my ass kicked.
They would fuck you so quick.
They would have me
Literally. They would just
hog-tied.
throw you over. Your pants would be around your ankles before you knew it. You'd be trying to remember Mortal Man as they're penetrating you.
I'd be hogtied and fucked in 30 seconds.
And as they're leaving, you're like, "Oh, wait, Mortal Man. That's right. Now I remember."
They would look around. They'd be like, "Did we just break into Pee Wee Herman's house? What is this?"
I
It'd
do
be
hope
something.
that's kind of a source of security. If someone was to break and go, "The fuck is this
What
shit?"
the fuck? You have about 2 seconds while they're saying, "What the fuck is this place?" to maybe escape.
This shit's too weird. Get the fuck out of here.
I can't fuck this guy with all this going on here.
It's too much. Yeah, just to show you, I mean, it's really a continual game of the people that are trying to keep you safe, but they keep expanding tech and everything they have with it. And the first thing is these scammers are aware and they say, "Great, new technology to try to take advantage of somebody." And they had did you see the massive cybersecurity breach that they had? 16 billion user accounts, including Apple, Google, Facebook, GitHub, Telegram. Luckily, most people don't have any of those platforms.
What do they do?
They said that the link likely stems from InfoStealer malware that harvested credentials directly from infected devices. So it looks like they have your credentials, your passwords for your Apple, your Google, your Facebook, GitHub, Telegram, government services, and more. It basically is everything. 16 billion accounts that are out there now in somebody else's hands. So I did get a message. I didn't know if I believed it or not, but I think it was from Google, and they were like, "Yeah, we've been exposed, so whatever you have on Google, go in and change all your passwords."
No, I'm unplugging. I'm taking all my money out of the bank and I'm going to the fucking woods.
That's why I really do think that I think in the next couple of years, maybe even starting this year, you're going to see people abandoning social media. They're going to start getting away from tech because they're going to see it as this little motherfucker in my pocket or in my purse is doing nothing but trying to turn on me and ruin my life.
You are right.
Yeah.
I think you are going to see, not everybody, but you're going to see a movement. You're going to see people, a percentage of people. I might be one of them.
All you have is every day. I mean, I didn't even bring the story in, but because the story comes out 3 days a week about how social media is ruining the youth, how their suicide rates are climbing, all this kind of stuff. I mean, you're getting to the point where you look at the pros and cons of what this is, and the cons are starting to outweigh the pros.
And I understand what you're saying about the children. You are 1,000% right. But honestly, man, it's ruining everybody. It's a fucking cesspool.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. So it'll be interesting to see if we have an anti-tech movement that I think could take root and grow, where people, I think that's why Drake has the Nokia song. They're like, "Oh, it's kind of a throwback to the Nokia." But look, people are like going, "I remember the old days of the old phones. It did enough and it's all good." And they say, look, anything that's connected to where scammers can come in, I don't want any of that connections. I don't need that.
Are people going to come back to radio, like terrestrial radio?
I don't know.
Because everybody's now listening on their streaming device, their smartphone.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll have to pick and choose. Like, for instance, social media is one of those things you say right now, social media is getting to the point where there's a lot more cons from the scams, what it can do to your mental health and all that, where you say, we could eliminate that. If you went down your phone, look, there's a lot of great features on the phone. Even the damn flashlight. I love it.
I love the flashlight.
You know, so, I mean, you might start looking at your phone and saying, okay, I could really use that, and that doesn't have downside to it. The flashlight, what's that doing to me? That's all good. It's great at concerts.
It's great in the morning when I'm getting dressed and everybody's sleeping in my house.
Yeah, so you're finding all positives on that. But if you really went down and itemized every feature your phone does, and you said you would probably stop at the social media and say, I don't know, man. It's getting to the point, I feel plugged in. I see all this stuff. I feel like I'm but with everything else that's in it, I think that's a feature I could get rid of. I don't need social media.
I listen to a lot of podcasts that have comedians. They're, everyone's got a podcast, and all these comedians have these podcasts, whether they're older comedians or even up and coming. Majority of them that say the same thing. Do not read the comments. They believe in the Virginia. You don't want your head in the sand,
right?
But you can't always read everything about you.
No.
Well, everybody
it's not normal.
Everybody needs to get a Jaybird in their life that reads the comments for them and then tells them if something is really important that they need to know.
And I've backed off on reading comments too, because there's so much shit, and things in text can be misconstrued when it comes to what someone's trying to convey. If they're trying to be, I'm guilty of it sometimes. I think I'm being funny and saying something, out of text, and then I read it back. Oh, that sounds like a dick. And if you were in the room, my tone and I'd articulate it in a different way where I would be kidding.
Right.
I just think it. I don't know, man.
That has happened. I've done that. I felt bad because I've read somebody's comment. I took it the wrong way and thought they were coming for me. No, they're just, it was a little joke and it was being sarcastic or whatever. And they're like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I feel bad that
I know that's
that I went off on you.
I'm like, oh shit, I was just fucking kidding.
If I'm drinking, I misinterpret so much. If I've been drinking and then I'm answering like any kind of emails or messages, it's not good.
Now, look, there's sometimes people are just a flat out dick, and if I'm drinking or if I'm in a mood, I'm like, oh, fuck you, motherfucker. I mean, I can have those moments too. And sometimes that's kind of fun. Yeah. And it helps with engagement.
Sure.
People don't want, Virginia the best. Virginia looks so pretty. It's like, fuck you, bitch. What? And a fight breaks out. Yeah. That's engagement.
Well, and I think, too, we need to get back to connecting with one another, too.
Yes.
Because, some of the stuff I've talked about where it's like I'm a recluse, I don't want to mix with other people, but you do need to go out. We need to get back to a little bit more real connections and hanging around with people and hanging around with good people.
You need to come to the KVJ Live next Saturday night at the PGA National because we are going to be all about face-to-face connections.
Yeah.
Yes, but still read the comments after the performance.
That's it.
Well, I read some of the comments after our first one. I was like, I ain't reading the comments no more.
Yeah, we got a good crowd. VIP is sold out. We still have some general admission. The place that we're going to be, it's got more people than the Boca Black Box where we were last year. So we've already sold past what that was, and I was sold out last year. And there's just a few, and they said, yeah, we can squeeze some more in there. So there are some more seats, and it's going to be a fun time. I think the lobby bar, even before and after, is going to be a lot of fun.
Amen.
So it's going to be really a whole kind of night thing. So the show starts at 6. You could get there about 5, have a little cocktail. Some of the VIPs going to be coming in at that time.
You could also get there early. Make a reservation for either Honey Bell or the Butcher's Club. Make a reservation. Don't walk in. Because if you make a reservation, you get free valet parking and they give you preferential treatment. You get treated like a little princess or a prince.
Yeah, you do.
So
absolutely.
Make a reservation. Do your dinner beforehand. I think I might do that too. I don't know. I'm up in the air. I think we're going to be working.
It's a lot of processing
I know.
going on.
I don't know if my time.
The ticket's $46, and I'm giving you with all the little fees that they put in, all that crap. It's $46. It looks like it's 40. I don't want you to get to the end, 46. So it says 40. It'll be 46 is what you're going to pay per ticket.
But it's cheaper than the Boca Black box.
Yep.
It's under $50, and that's what we had a problem with last time because it was just over $50. I just don't think it's like a good idea.
I like the way this the podcast how we have planned coming up. I like the way this one's gonna flow. I think this is gonna flow fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good night. So if you want to get those tickets, join us next Saturday night at the PGA National Resort and Spa. All you have to do is just go to WRMF.com to get them. They're going to be right there for you. All right, well, fun weekend. Y'all be safe. Got to make sure everybody's back here on Monday. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you back here then. Goodbye.
Happy birthday, kid.
Happy birthday, thank you guys. Appreciate it.